Thank you for listening to my presentation on 21st century skills, fostering collaborative creativity in the design of learning environments. When we think about collaborative creativity, we may want to think about the demands of the 21st century workplace that requires workers to have skills such as collaboration, creativity, and problem solving. Yet it seems that in many schools we're not doing enough to develop those skills in students. As I began researching the topic of collaboration for this project, I ran across an interesting study by Kim, who found that since 1999, while IQ has been on the rise, creativity has steadily declined among all age groups, but especially among K-3 children. Creativity has been researched since the mid-1950s. At that time, we originally linked creativity with high intellectual ability, called it the big C. But at that time, researchers began to be interested in the developmental aspects of creativity, where now we see little c creativity, that everyday creativity, we call it, that it's an extension of normal cognitive processes available to everyone. Collaborative creativity, especially creativity initially, the focus was definitely on the individual, the cognitive process that arise within the individual. But now we've moved to this along the spectrum to social creativity, and even one of the foremost creativity experts considers creativity as much social and systemic as psychological. Creativity includes divergent thinking, such as brainstorming, as well as convergent thinking, where a group settles on one particular solution to a problem. Creativity, social creativity always requires a climate conducive to innovation. When we look at the theoretical foundations of collaborative creativity, we start first with situated cognition, focusing on the social nature of knowledge construction and, of course, the importance of authentic activities. There's also some basis in this in cooperative learning, of course, and the great success of that. Very well researched method used quite often very successfully in classrooms, as well as what's known as the combination of contributions framework, a model developed by researchers that include 4 common themes that include group diversity, obstacles to realizing creativity, group climate, and group environment. And then most recently, we have the Communities of Innovation model by West, a very interesting model pictured here in the diagram, and some characteristics of the COI. Some of the current and past research, it's a relatively new area of research. We see, of course, as I mentioned, Kim's study on the decrease in creativity. Some researchers have looked at shared leadership, knowledge sharing, and diversity. I think shared leadership also is a very, if I can say, hot topic, in not only in many different kinds of organization. Sawyer and Zutter did some work on collaborative emergence, which is the emergence of creativity and, for example, improvisational theater. Sullivan did an interesting study on the curricular aspects important to creative solutions. And some researchers in Utah studied the implementation of a transdisciplinary collaborative project that included students from film, from science, from humanities in a college level course. And then research trends also showing up for communities of practice, both the implementation and the evaluation. Some of the gaps, of course, because this is such a new area of research, there's lots to look at. First, I think investigating the causes of decreases in creativity, interesting. And then case studies are much needed in communities of innovation implementation, as well as some of the effects of COI, the evaluation of those implementations, and how can we foster COI, and how we design learning environments as communities of innovation. Thank you for joining me and listening to my presentation.